All right, here we go.
Again. Here we go. Oh no, our props are falling off.
All right.
So we really are live up in here.
All right, folks. Hello, welcome to OTD, also known as On the Deck, where you can get all the sports you need in 10 minutes. My name is Adam Orduna. This is my mom, Gina.
He is the journalist.
And she's the enthusiast.
I am the enthusiast today. 'Cause, hey, we're not only talking football, it's college football.
Yes, it is.
Bowl season.
It is college football bowl season.
In homage, I'm wearing your pinstripe bowl
yes,
gear.
Exactly. And we want to give a congratulations to K-State.
Yeah!
Congratulations, K-State, for winning the Texas Bowl. And we're really excited because this is Bill Snyder's
like 202
yes,
wins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, we if you can hear our theme music, we want to just say we appreciate it because we're evolving our show. We've got theme music, we've got our social media page, and we're just giving a lot of props to what we've been doing. And so we want to say, once again, congratulations to K-State. We're all decked out in our K-State gear, and it's just really exciting because we don't know how much longer Coach Snyder is going to be coaching for K-State. And this was a big, big win.
As far as I'm concerned, the man can coach forever.
Exactly.
Like when I saw him on TV, they're doing all the stuff in A&M, and then they flashed to Bill, and I was like, Coach!
Yes. Well, once again, we want to say continue to follow us all on our social media. YouTube, type in my name, Adam Orduna, and on Facebook, just type in OTD. Please follow our page and continue to just like our page, I guess, for Facebook. Please. And then for Twitter, she is JRepass_OTD. And then our main Twitter page is OTD_on-the-deck. So what we want to talk about now is our New Year's Six bowl games as we introduced. K-State winning the big game for college football last night against a former Big 12 foe, Texas A&M. We want to continue on that train and talk about the New Year's Six bowl games right now. So can you please list off the games and who's playing in them, and then we'll give you a quick breakdown and predictions as those games kick off.
All right, ahem.
Yes.
Okay, starting Friday, you have the Orange Bowl, which is Michigan versus Florida State. Then you've got the Cotton Bowl, which is going to be Wisconsin versus Western Michigan. Okay. So Michigan is all over the place. You got the Rose Bowl with Penn State versus USC. Right. Then you'll have the Sugar Bowl with Oklahoma versus Auburn. Then you've got on Saturday basically the semifinal quote-unquote playoff, and that's the Peach Bowl, which Alabama #1 versus #4 Washington, and then the Fiesta Bowl following that with Clemson #2 versus #3 Ohio State. So that's basically New Year's, and there's all kind of bowls. We just talked about the Texas Bowl, the Outback, but there's all kind of bowls. But these are basically, they call them the New Year's Six.
Yes, it's the New Year's Six, and if you want to say the ones that mean the most, at least for what the bowl system has been geared around lately, these are the most important bowl games. And so we want to highlight those because those are the biggest ones up to this point. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and talk. What was the first one that you
mentioned? The first one I said was the Orange Bowl, which is Michigan versus Florida State.
That's a really good game. And we just mentioned, Michigan and Florida State, both the very historic programs, really good teams. You got really good coaches. One team feels like they should have been in the top 4. Another team that probably underperformed a little bit this year, but still a really strong team. I'm excited for that game.
What's your pick?
You know, honestly, I think Michigan is going to have a really, really big chip on the shoulder. I'm really not a huge Michigan fan, as a lot of people know, but I think Jim Harbaugh is going to go ahead and get that team ready. Jim Harbaugh has proven that he's one of the best coaches in college football. Nothing against Jimbo Fisher in that program, but Jameis Winston is not the quarterback, but Dalvin Cook is still the running back. And that Francois kid is real good. He's young. If that old line can hold up, it'll be a really good game. But I'm going to pick Michigan. What do you think?
I'm also going to pick Michigan. Are we putting scores out here? Or
no scores. No scores. Let's just go ahead with the pick because we don't have enough time to go with it. We don't have enough time
for scores and analysis. Well, I will go with that. I'm also going to choose Michigan. So let's talk about the next one, which is the Cotton Bowl, Wisconsin versus Western Michigan. And I'll take this one. Here's the thing. Western Michigan did everything it was supposed to do. Won out undefeated. But they still weren't even a part of the Final Four conversation. So to me, I think that what the powers that be have said is that Western Michigan, you did what you were supposed to, but you haven't done enough. I will tell you this, Wisconsin is nobody's punk. I really don't like them. We've said this multiple times. I'm not a Wisconsin fan. I just think that Western Michigan has not run up across the beast feeders they're about to see, the kind of speed that's about to come at them, both offensive and defensively. I'm not going to predict a blowout, but I'm going to predict a big win for Wisconsin.
It'll be an interesting game. How about that? I think Western Michigan's got a lot going on for them this year, but we'll see what happens. All right, so what else we got here? I'm going to go Wisconsin as well, but I think Western Michigan's going to surprise some people, but we'll see. It'll be I think it'll be better than people think.
All right, brother, you get the Rose Bowl, Penn State, USC.
All right, I'm picking Penn State. Both teams are rolling right now. They're hitting their strides. I think that Penn State is also playing with a chip on their shoulder. UNC got embarrassed game 1 against Alabama. There's been a lot of shakeup for that program, and I think they're also playing with a chip on their shoulder. But I think Penn State is playing with a bigger chip on their shoulder, being that they won the Big Ten Conference and should be in the Final Four.
Let me dust you off on that.
I love James Franklin, and I know there's a lot of backlash for Penn State as far as what happened with the Jerry Sandusky thing and all of that stuff, and we don't want to bring that up. So there's a lot of sore wounds there, but I'm rooting for James Franklin, and I think Penn State really needs this just for every reason possible, and they're playing really good football.
So you're picking Penn State?
I'm picking Penn State.
Well, let me say this. I agree with everything you just said 100%, including I'm a huge James Franklin fan. USC is going to win that game. It's basically a home game for them.
Sure.
They are, from what everyone is saying, the best 3-loss team in college football. They did get embarrassed early, but as they came on, they whooped Washington. They're running on all cylinders, and I think you talk about chips on their shoulder. These are 2 chip teams. I think this will be the best game of the weekend.
I agree with that.
I really do.
It's going to be a really good matchup. Yes, it'll be a great game.
I'm going to actually pick USC, and it's not. I don't think it's going to be that close. I think it'll be close till the 4th quarter. I'm picking USC.
All right.
All right. Well, then I get the Sugar Bowl.
Yes.
Oklahoma versus Auburn.
Wow.
I'm going to make this real simple.
Okay.
The SEC is terrible as soon as you get outside Alabama. Oklahoma rolls big. They were very disrespected as the Big 12 champs, didn't even get the sniff they should have at being in the Final Four. Oklahoma is clicking on all cylinders. You know what? Let me go ahead and just
That's okay, yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and just take that down.
All right, well,
here.
as you're finishing that, yes. I'm not going to say that much. I think OU needs to win this game. There's a lot at stake for them. Bob Stoops, I think his credibility, his job is on the line with all the stuff that happened with Joe Mixon. And I just think OU's better. Baker Mayfield, Auburn, underachieving team. They just, the ESPN and everyone else just wants to elevate Auburn just like A&M.
Because they're trying to drive ratings.
Exactly. No. But no, we all know that OU's a better team, I think.
It's going to be a beatdown, and I call OU. All right, so now we actually get to the semifinals, basically, the Final 4 games, and that's the Peach Bowl featuring Alabama versus Washington, and then you got the Fiesta Bowl, Clemson versus Ohio State. So which one do you want to take first?
Let's go with the Peach Bowl, okay, and that is Washington against Alabama. I think it's going to be a good game. I think Chris Peterson and UW, the Huskies, are playing really well. Jake Browning, they're nice. And Gaskin at running back, they're going to give, I think we talked about it before in our pre-production, Washington has a puncher's chance. They definitely do.
Yeah, you did.
We all know that Alabama's defense is really good. We all know we all know Alabama, but I think it's going to be a good game. And unfortunately, as far as I just pumped up UW, I'm still going to pick Alabama, but I definitely think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. What is your initial thoughts?
I 100% agree with you, and I do remember when we talked about pre-production, you did say having a puncher's chance, and I like that analogy.
Yeah.
Because if you've got a puncher against a boxer, you know, all the puncher has to do is land the right couple of punches, and you can be out. I think it's going to be a much closer game than people believe, especially through the first 3 quarters.
Yes.
Unfortunately for Washington, which you have been on the Huskies all year.
Yes.
At the end of the day, Alabama is too deep, too strong, and quite frankly, they got to run through the SEC pretty easily. I mean, the SEC did not put up a fight for Alabama this year. So I think they're rested and fresh. Winning breeds winning, and I think Washington's going to shock and awe people early, but by the time you get to that 4th quarter, you're going to see that Roll Tide defense just coming with the heat, and then that quarterback, that running back, that line, the receiver, there's just too many weapons, and I think, I'm not going to say Alabama outlasts Washington, but I think Alabama beats Washington, but it's going to be in the 4th quarter.
As long as Alabama does not beat up themselves, there's a lot of egos and there's a lot of big names a part of that coaching staff, and there's a lot of decisions that have been made in the last couple weeks. As long as they keep it together and they don't shoot themselves in the foot, I think Alabama will win. But UW, definitely watch out for them. Okay, what's the last game?
The last game is the Fiesta Bowl.
Close out here.
Clemson versus Ohio State.
Right. Honestly, I'm not going to say that much about it. I really am not that excited about this game. I'm really upset about Ohio State being where they are. I think Clemson has underachieved this year. I think there's a lot of hype for them because of Deshaun Watson and what they did last year. I
still believe, Dabo Sweeney,
yes, I believe in Dabo Sweeney. But when it does come down to who's the better coaches, Urban Meyer takes the rank there, and so therefore I'm still going to go with Ohio State. But I definitely think that Clemson has a good chance of winning that game. But I'm going to Ohio State.
Well, here was the thing. I have to try to separate Clemson from last year from Clemson from this year, because last year Clemson was getting whooped by Alabama and fought back to the last seconds of a great national championship game, and Clemson almost pulled it out. And this whole year they've been doing the almost pull it out thing. Right. I don't think that's going to happen against Ohio State, because you talk about Chip. Ohio State knows everybody thinks they don't deserve to be there. Right. So I can tell you Urban Meyer's going to say, not only are we going to win, we're going to win with a statement. Yes. It's going to be Ohio State, and it might be big.
Right.
Actually. So
all right.
Well, my prediction.
Well, it could be. Clemson has been shoestrings away from having more losses this year, besides the Pitt loss that they had. All right. So are we going to the national championship, or do you want to just wait on that until we get there?
I'm afraid to make any predictions about that just yet.
We will save our national championship prediction until that actually happens, until that takes place.
Well, I have to give my caveat here. Anybody who's watched the show at all knows I am the worst predictor ever. If I picked against your team,
well, that's what's the fun part about picking these games, because you don't know. It's just our own initial thoughts with it. Correct. And as you can see, this is a live show. Our social media prop has fallen off. And that's okay. But as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, please continue to follow us. Type in my name, Adam Orduna, for YouTube, and subscribe to our page. Type in OTD in Facebook. Continue to follow us on Twitter, OTD_on the deck. She is JRepass_OTD. We're really excited about all the college football that will continue to happen. And we just want to say we appreciate your time, and thanks for watching, folks.
Thanks, Facebook
Live. All right, we'll see you guys later on. Go K-State. All right, cool. We made it. Man, that was crazy. That was crazy.
I felt it. I was like, this motherfucker's getting ready to fall off right
now. And then I didn't know if you remembered to hit the thing. That's why I just like, oh no. I was trying to tell you to hit the, I don't know, you couldn't see my hand.
No, all of a sudden I saw your face and I was like, oh.